This bill is in the importance of self love.
Yes. Peace, family.
The
This is Garth Ma'at Haru. Welcome to the Temple Breakdown. We about to break
Yes.
down some knowledge, build it back up. Check us out. Today, this is self-love. The overdose of self-love. The
No.
sustainability of life. Me and my brothers, we're gonna talk about self-love. We're gonna break it down and we're gonna present it to you, the viewers. Let us know what you think.
For one, self love is way more powerful than actually people actually think. It don't have no selfish gender, because then you will understand where yourself is at. Yourself is in the ground, the soil that you walk on. Yourself is in the air that you breathe. Yourself is in the nature that you live in, and under umbrella of what we actually call that create this whole medium that we live in. So self-love is that important all the way down into the microscope of your cells in your body. So self-love generates the energy that needs to sustain life. So that's how important self-love is.
The sustainability of life. Um,
Yeah.
if I might add, one day I was walking through nature, and I stopped and I was looking at, like, a patch of grass. It was dandelions. It was a bush, many different shrubs, many different flowers, and I just stopped and I looked. I really looked deep at without that flower garden, and I realized that all of those living specimens, those plants, they were alive and they were sharing the ground. They were sharing that patch of earth that they all had their roots in. None of them were fighting. All of them was sustaining their life. It was just I identified the sustainability of life right there. I saw love in that flower garden.
Oh yeah.
That's when I start recognizing love, what love really is, because, like, the sun is shining, they're sharing the ground, they all got their roots in it. There's room for all of them, and they just striving, sustaining life. They just alive, life.
Right. All the elements of nature, all the elements of organisms, all the elements actually working together. But it got a negative agenda in there as well, that's trying to kill that self love. That's that selfishness. That's where that desire first came from. That selfishness. From that selfishness, it had an evil intent. That selfish had an evil intent to separate you from your self love, which is natural, which is the naturalist thing that you actually can have. It's the nature that provides for you, the one that actually give
Right.
you the ability to function on this planet. You know, so
Right.
self love is something that's only ones that actually being genuine can actually produce that type of energy. Everybody else ain't nothing but lost souls, or what I would like to call it, energy veils. The ones that's closed off on that energy level because of the lack of love and self first.
Right.
So it's a
And
it's a yeah.
I
Go
say
ahead.
this since we talking about self love. One thing y'all have to understand about self love is no matter what you look like, you have to be acknowledgeable. Meaning, I say pro understanding of that. You have to be acknowledgeable of who you are, what you are, and why you are, and how you are. You have to accept yourself for who you are. whatever characteristics that you know give and show, you have to accept that genuinely. If you don't accept that genuinely, then you know it's hard to try to understand yourself from that perspective. And you know, self hate is a strong thing. It's strong, but it's weak. And I'm explaining why I say it's weak. It's weak because you know the fact that you hate yourself signifies that you know you lack the knowledge of self. You lack the understanding of self. Once you understand self, you learn that the things that you do and the things that you put out there are according to you know how you're presenting. And there comes a point in time in your life where you know you're gonna present negative, but also you're gonna present positive. But you have to know that that is self. Everything that you do that you manifest in your life, that is self. You know, we look at as far as you know us being spiritual people. Some of us are religious, which is wrong. We look at all of our actions as sinful and or as wrong. But the thing is, your actions are your authentic self. This is how you is. So you know you have to accept that. But you also learn from it. Once you learn from that, you better yourself. You improve. You become a better person. You become a better version of you. You don't have to be out here trying to prove yourself to no one else because in fact self-love represents the understanding of self, the respect of self, the loyalty of self, you know, the honor of self. And all of those are strong statements, very strong statements. But once you understand who you are, you learn to love that about yourself. And you have to remember, you know, you can never get out of yourself. You always, I don't care when, where, how, you always, whether it's right or wrong. But you have to acknowledge that. You have to understand that.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the most that's the most important thing towards self awareness is actually loving yourself for your self awareness. It's for you can actually be aware of what actually supports you through your negative and your positive action, and that's your soul. Just like
Facts.
how it supports your the negative and positive um energy in this realm we call world, you know. But through that, we through this experience, we gotta understand we gotta love our soul first. And
Facts.
see the and when you actually do that, you can understand and overstand the difference between the negative and the positive, what that happens and how that happens, and what's the cause and effects from this negativity, and the cause effects from a positive feed of energy. You know, the positive feed uh, preserve life. The negative energy kills it and breaks it down, you know. And that's just like when in personal spirituality in the energy with you know that when you get to a point of so-called age, but it's actually when your soul start preparing itself to leave this vessel that it's in.
Right.
So you got to love it through the beginning and the end, but the end and the beginning is at the same
Right.
point. So so now you need to love yourself that way, because the beginning and the end is nothing but the infiniteology of existing.
Right.
You know.
Um, it's important to love yourself It's many different dynamics in loving self.
Oh yeah.
Number one, loving self is not a selfish characteristic or action towards another person. It's
Mm-mm.
just taking the time out to study who you are, develop a relationship with
Mm,
yourself by getting to know who you are, what you like, what you're scared, afraid of, your anxieties, what type of triggers you have to study the self,
Right,
right.
when do you get hungry? What's your eating habits like? What is your social life like? Everything
Mm,
about yourself. Get to know everything about who you are.
mm,
That's like one stage. Also, you can love yourself by choosing which environments you place yourself in,
right,
oh
choosing
yeah.
the certain type of people that you allow to yourself to be around, protecting yourself.
right,
Right. Yeah, because
There's many different
self
ways
love
of
is the
guiding.
greater protection than we actually can fathom. Self love is the part of the natural nature of us, and that's our soul. So you gotta love that. You gotta be in love with that. That means you actually gotta be in tune with that, not out of tune. Because if you out of tune, you ain't in tune with that type of
right,
love. See, and most people don't understand the difference. They thought, when I'm in tune. No, you're not really. You
no,
you you
no,
understand it, but you're not in tune because if you really knew what actually that loving yourself is, you would be butt naked everywhere.
right,
You see what I'm saying? That's the naked truth. So
right,
so loving yourself is actually going in there, looking in the mirror, and telling yourself you love every inch or every ounce that you actually breathe, and loving everything around you. Even though you see the messed up stuff in it, you still love it because that soil supports it both
right,
for a balance that we really can't comprehend, but I understand it. I understand it because of simple fact. We are actually the algae to nature.
right.
Nature don't owe us nothing, but
Mm-mm.
we owe it the respect that it
Right,
give us to even live on this plane.
right,
You know, because we didn't have to live in this. We could have been in something else or in a different realm or something else to experience something else. You know, so yes,
right,
self love and being genuine helps you to understand self love.
right,
Cause see, cause see, if you're not being genuine, you're not gonna understand self love. You just gonna know what you capable of. That's it. Not the self love thing. You ain't gonna see it.
right,
One of my brothers, like Frank Burrell, I love um his ideology on that. His presenting when he did it on his video about the uh about the soil and the grass and how he presented it. It triggered thoughts. It triggered thoughts. It triggered nothing but acceptance because of if information was genuine. Seeing the earth and allowing himself accepted as he is, and how he broke it down. It was amazing. I love genuine information. Some people have good information, but they care to suck as a
right,
person. You can tell how they hurt the people that's close to you. And how do you does that? I don't put no ill stuff on people, but I seen that, and I actually tried to be genuine with the brother, and the brother
right,
ended up blocking me and everything, and I gave him nothing but the utmost respect, and I was loving myself as I was loving him to tell him something genuine, you know. But I ain't gonna get into that story because I don't want nobody to say he talking about me. No, you talked about yourself when you showed up that way.
Right. And I'm gonna say this right here off of what brother Darnell was saying. Okay. When he was saying, about being naked, he wasn't referring to you not having clothes. He was referring to you being naked mentally, being naked spiritually. Meaning, you know, when we talk about self-love, we're exposing ourselves. Whoever that we find ourselves, engaged with, whether we engage with them emotionally or physically or spiritually, however you engage with that person,
Uh,
you are going to reveal, who you are. You're going to be naked.
now,
You're
now,
going to
now,
show.
now, now, you got a point there, but I'm gonna correct you because
Right.
when I'm
Do
talking
that.
about naked, I'm talking
Do that.
about naked. I'm talking about naked. I'm really talking about uh spiritually, mentally,
Right.
and physically, because
Right.
we didn't come in this world with no clothes on. That didn't
Right.
exist when we came in this world, or what you so call a world. We was all
Right.
naked. But see, that's where we come back to the illness of the mind. We can't go outside and butt ass naked because of the sickness of the minds of other people have a problem with that. But behind closed doors, me and this lady, we didn't have no problem with that. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
see, that's comes with the secret seeds. They want to keep things a secret because of the illness of the mind, the
Right.
how polluted and toxic the mind became. See, we we be thinking that we like so healthy and things, and in that health in that nature. We think we so healthy, but we actually not. We toxic.
Right.
That just like we more toxic to a woman than we actually think. You
Right.
know, because a simple fact, uh, we the off brand of a woman.
Right.
That means we got something that she don't got, but she do got some things that we. I mean, she got everything that we got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just in a different degree. We don't have nurturing abilities. We have a protection, but she can do that too just as well. She thinks she can't because she's labeled as a female.
Right.
How people downgrade her to her and crucified at her. So yes, self love it goes all the way to the mother and the mother nature. And that's where self love comes. You got to put it in that cycle because if you don't put it in that cycle, you ain't gonna see the self love the way you think you seeing it. We see self love as just loving yourself and taking pictures. Nah, that ain't what that is. Self love is actually having a clear, like crystal clear, perception of how life actually generates.
Right.
Where to start at and where to beginning. It started from nothing and became to something. It don't start with everything because if you did, you woke up this morning with everything that you needed and you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But far as accessories that we got, we supposed to appreciate it. That mean the air that we've been breathing all along, which is nothing but moisturize a different form of water. That's it. We
Right.
swimming in water now,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Wondering
Many,
know
many,
how.
many, many different points of views. I
Yeah,
also want to add, you can love yourself by controlling your diet.
Right.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Showing yourself appreciation.
to my knowledge, certain foods kind of like slow down the thinking process. Certain foods slow
Right.
down the heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Messes with your organs. These type of things. Certain foods, the GMO foods, they kind of get stuck in your body. Putting GMO in your body is like putting plastic in your body or throwing plastic in the
Right.
street. It takes a
Yeah.
long time
I
for
mean,
you
they do
plastic.
so many different things. Dang, did it cut
So
off?
so when you
Okay.
intaking GMO foods, or just eating or having someone else prepare your food and you don't know what type of, like, substances your food is mixed in with.
Right.
Um,
And, and,
that's why I'm stressing right now the importance of controlling your diet and embracing particularly an alkaline diet.
Right.
well,
Another
if
part of
you,
self love is
mhm.
uh, protection. Like you definitely got to protect yourself. You know yourself. Your vulnerability. You know your
Right.
situation, that you know your weaknesses and your flaws. Protect yourself. Develop those things. Strengthen those flaws. Strengthen whatever that is. We have the power to affect change in our life. So affecting change in your life, that process, that self love.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's. I mean, we can take self love to almost well, to anywhere you wanted to go, because
You
it's
can
all
take
Right.
it
your
to a
it's
molecular
all
standpoint,
yourself. I
molecules
mean,
and cells,
right.
and you can study the cells and see how they can teach you about self love and loving yourself,
Oh
because
yeah. I mean,
they
if
live
you
for you.
break
They
down the
live for you.
different blood cells and stuff, like the red cells attacking the white cell. I mean, the white cells attacking the red cells. You
So
know
yeah, that whole
that.
story,
So
the whole story of
right,
self love is written in the DNA.
right. Just
What we
like
doing
the
in this
same
video is
thing.
we extracting that information from our DNA and we sharing it with you.
Oh yeah.
Something that you should know, or you should already know. But what we're saying is
Right.
embrace this knowledge. You got to embrace the knowledge. You got to embrace the self
Mm.
love. This is how you're going to
Oh,
heal. This is how we will heal.
that's the only way the world of this corruption gonna actually end.
This is the only way we going to heal together as a unit, as one body. That's the only way we're going to be able to unite the right way, is by loving ourselves. That's the first step. Love yourself. So many
Verse
different ways
two.
to love yourself. So many different
All right.
opportunities to wake up and love yourself. And once you get good at that, and once you develop the experience of loving yourself, you'll be able to love another. You'll be able to
Right.
identify when
But
you are being loved. There's a lot of
Right.
people who
simple.
don't even know what love is. You know
They
what
Bro,
love
don't,
is?
man, and it's sad when you actually see it, because it make it so pugnant. When you actually experienced it yourself, the self hate, the self not gratifying yourself, what I'm saying, not appreciating yourself, not taking care of yourself like you supposed to, what I'm saying, not not doing it like you supposed to,
right.
because you got a set mindset saying that you dysfunctional because you got a dysfunctional family. What I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, so from the experience of not loving that part of me that didn't accept me, didn't love me, and I could actually say, man, I am thankful that I love myself today, this moment. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't say that out your mouth, because the sad part, throughout my whole life, I didn't hear nobody, I didn't hear nobody telling me to love myself like that. They
Nope.
told me how to love a woman. They
Right.
told me how to love somebody else, but they
Right.
ain't never told me how to love myself. But the way they
Mm.
told me how to love somebody else was actually getting over on somebody else and cheating them out of genuine love.
Right.
Well, I'm telling the people that you love yourself by controlling your diet. You love yourself by developing a relationship with yourself. You love yourself
Period.
by exercising. You love yourself by protecting yourself. So many different ways to love yourself. Study
Mm.
yourself. You would tell you how to love you.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you don't know the difference between what's harming you, or building you up, then you don't know
Life
what
giving,
self love is.
life
You
giving, or life threatening. You don't know what
right
self love is.
at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're putting yourself in positions where you um you continue getting misused, and you know this, but you're gonna do it for some other type of reason because you say you love that person or you own something or whatever it may be, whatever
Right.
that reason is, it don't justify the pain that you causing on yourself. So no, I mean you shouldn't be
That's
satisfied
right.
with less. You should be satisfied with the best treatment of self. That means treat yourself good, for other people can treat you as well. Because only way a person is treating you is the way you treat yourself, you know. And we can look at it in a female standpoint, because from a male point of view, how I used to treat a woman was how they acted on themselves. If you acted like a so-called thought, I'm gonna use that for a safe word, you know what I'm saying, or a lower vibrational woman, you know what I'm saying. I treated you as such, and that
Right.
was in my mindset. But see, when I actually need to be treating all the women with high respect because I respect myself that way, to give you self-respect coming from self-love. Period. So if that ain't the real genuine aspect of it, I don't know what it is.
I agree, absolutely. And I respect myself enough and I love myself enough to reach out to a young queen and let her know that she's a queen,
Right.
regardless if she denies it or not.
I'm still
That
gonna tell her that she's
that she's
beautiful.
greatness, regardless if she denies her greatness or not, and and takes
You
from
know,
my positive energy and drains my energy. I'm willing to
right.
get my energy drained for the black woman
Right. You got to, man. I mean, it's
because I love
needed,
myself
man.
and I love the black woman.
It is needed, man. I mean, it don't get. I mean, for from a man point of view, don't allow no man to think just because he giving you something, regardless of what it is. It can be enlightenment or whatever, to treat you any kind of way that you don't want to be treated at all.
Facts.
I mean, I don't care if he thinks he's the preacher or Allah or the highest more or the blackest power or anything in that nature. You know what I'm saying? If they making you uh putting you in positions that you don't you just saying okay because they providing you with something, then you must don't love yourself that much to involve yourself or continue in going through that same process of hurt and pain. I can't see it. But if ones accept that and they agree with it, that's on them.
Yeah, I feel that. um, so self love from a self standpoint, right?
Hmm.
What's your views on that? Like, what are those
On the
cells
self.
doing? Like,
Well, that goes on in your how you function. Cause see, and that goes in your diet, you know,
Right.
that goes into your diet. That goes into, saying the what you actually use and to actually gravitate to uplift your health, because we all got some illness in us that we haven't took care of because we don't know nothing about it.
Right.
You
right,
know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you end up knowing something about it, go on and jump on it and do something about it before it's too late. You
Right.
know, and not to sound hypocritical, you know, that's just like me tackling these cigarette things, man. I've been fighting these boys for the longest. I put them down, pick them back up, put them down, pick them back up, you know. But
that's
at the
funny.
same token,
Can
it's
I say something on that?
oh yeah,
Um, Actually, I quit, bro. I used to smoke like pack a day, right?
right.
Um, I didn't like the fact that I wasn't in control. You feel me? How am I not in control of my own life? How am I going out there giving my money away? And I need this. You feel me? And I'm just giving it away every day. I
Right.
was able to step outside of what I'm doing and watch. Like this is part of self love. I'm watching and noticing my addictions. You
Yeah.
understand? And then
Hmm.
I decided to do something about it. I not the
Yeah.
body. You know
Yeah.
the
See, I commend you with that, man. I mean,
something about it.
I've been losing in that little battle with them cigarettes. Maybe you could help me, encourage me. I
Well,
know the ones around me, they really ain't. You know what I'm
you have to
saying?
understand now understand the object of what we talking about. We talking about the cigarette. You know, it's filled with
Right.
chemicals. You know, the chemicals that they put in the cigarette is
Oh
designed
yeah, man. It's
to
designed to
revive some more
give me
cigarettes.
something that my soul don't even desire.
So you
You
got it.
know.
The first step is to understand what you against. You know, you against some chemicals that's been specially designed, genetically designed to to
Mm-hmm.
uh to make you want more.
So yeah,
So it's
you
like you
know.
understand it's poison. It's like we've been poisoned. So what I did, the first thing I did is I cleaned my colon. Like I went to go. I got like
A
what is
detox.
that? Laxative, something to make me use the bathroom,
Right.
right? And
Okay.
because
Hell, I've
Dr.
been
Sabi
trying to look into
check,
that
check me
detox
out. Check me
herb.
out. Dr. Sabi says you have to first clean the colon because it's a poison. We're poison. You feel me? So you have to
Mm-hmm.
first clean the colon. After I cleaned my colon, I just kind of like I started to fight it. And when the urges came, I noticed
Mm-hmm.
them like, wow. Instead of me giving into the urge, I just studied the urge. Like, wow, that's crazy. Like, and it would go
Right.
away.
Okay.
Also, some medical cannabis helped me out as well. Like, I kind of like, if I felt like I was about to, oh man, I just get a little medical cannabis and use that as my medication, and that definitely worked out for me and helped me go long, long periods. It was a battle. Also working out, doing something new,
Yeah.
just going to run and meditate and visualize my future, create my future while I'm running and jogging. That helped me
Mm-hmm.
out a lot because once I'm done, it's like, wow, I just put in that work. I just, I feel great. And, I'm loving myself. You understand? That is what I'm doing.
Right.
I mean that. Like, this is what, loving myself. I treat myself when I go, like,
Yeah.
triggers, when I was, like, I go into the stores, naturally, I got
Uh-huh.
money. Naturally, I'm about to buy a pack. What I used to do, instead of doing that, I wanted to, but I am in control. You get it?
Right.
I want to, but instead of doing that, I spent the money on some coconut water. I made sure it was like 100% coconut water. I get like some
Mm-hmm.
things I like. You feel me? And then I
Right.
treat myself with that. And I walk out. I walk out the store mad. You get me? I walk out the store mad for real. For
Man.
real. Like my body wants that.
Yeah.
Like that was retarded. What just
Right.
happened? You get it? But I
Right.
drink the water and it's like, wow, the taste of that good stuff going down, the urge
Mm-hmm.
went away. It's like
Well,
I fought it. I
you
fought
know,
back.
I was doing, not to give it no excuse or nothing like that, but I can actually tell the truth about it. You know, I was doing pretty good far as my diet. I mean, I was doing pretty good. I wasn't eating meat, and I was doing a lot of things that was actually beneficial. That's when I actually felt was feeling real good, and I felt the energy running up my spine and stuff, and feeling it generating
Okay. Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was the first time it happened. The first time it happened, it kind of scared me. And I ain't gonna lie
Right,
about it. It kind of scared me. I thought it was the weed at first.
right,
Not the, you know what I'm saying? To
right,
say it in a truthful manner, I thought it was the weed at first, but it wasn't. I was actually eating better. I was eating better. I was drinking better stuff. And I was actually doing that. And my defecation was even more liquid than solid. So I knew I was doing something good to my body. But
right,
then, you know what I'm saying, personal issue happened. It kicked me in a survival mode. It kicked me in survival mode, and you know, and I fell off my diet, man. You know, not saying
What
that's
personal
a
issue took you out of your element? You were out of your element.
right. Yeah,
So
it
you
just
see,
took
like
it.
environment is important key to like self love.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is.
Also
But you
thinking
know,
ahead. Also thinking ahead. I know
uh,
that is highly important to like
don't give me
huh? I,
Don't get me
it's
wrong
highly
now.
important to keep an
The
eye in the future.
oh
Have
yeah,
your
cause
mind
see,
on some thoughts in the future, a couple steps
right.
ahead. Like that's a part of
So
that. That's a part of self love
oh
to
yeah,
kind of like be able
oh
to
yeah. I
visualize ahead.
like I know like I know like you know uh I ain't gonna continue on doing what I'm doing as I'm surviving right now. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I know that the people that's around me ain't gonna be around me when this full transformation happens. You know, I know that. I just know that because you know what I'm saying it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It do more harm than good. You know, when you actually trying to do the better good, being around ones like that, it don't do no good. Even if you trying your best to pull them over this way and they just tugging the other way, it's no good. It's no good for the soul that's in that situation that's actually trying to get out. You know, like the crabs in the
It's a part
bucket.
of the trap though, brother. So like I look at it like that, and if I stand for liberation for my people, for myself, for
Hmm.
my family, I definitely made it my duty to liberate myself from killing myself softly or
Right.
keep putting money in Mr. Newport pocket. Mr.
Right.
Newport rich, man, killing our people. So, I
Yeah.
knew I first had to unpoison myself so I can help,
Right.
the people who still first step, long as you want to, you will.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
It's
I
poison
did it.
though,
I did
brother.
it
It's
before.
poison.
I did it before. I can do it again.
Every extra one you smoke is like more poison you putting back into your system.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah. You
makes you
know.
want it. It's like after a while, like it's like in your brain, like cigarette. You need one.
Yeah.
You
You
know
know.
you need one. You know you need
You know.
one.
I got it to. I got it to the point. I got it to the point where all you know. What I'm saying the cigarette smoke and stuff. It started stinking to me. You know. What I'm saying I didn't want to be around it or whatnot. But I end up. I been a and still stand around it all the time. It just like it's just like you end up doing what you normally happily already was doing when we was trying to stop. If you actually trying to stop, you need to get away from it before you can be able to be stronger, and then you can deal with it better if you come back around it again.
True.
Other than that,
People that
it ain't gonna work out like you think.
I was around cigarette smokers, and it was kind of like made what I was doing extra hard because I was around people who smoke. But
Right.
the information I'm sharing with you
Hmm.
was so strong that yeah, I mean sometimes in the beginning, yeah, I did give in a few times, and I used to like go try to get one, and it was a kind of like as a reward, but I was able to identify that because I was working on myself. You see what I'm saying? I ain't
Hmm.
working on me, so I noticed that. I see me doing that. I see me shortchanging myself. That's not love. That's not self love. That's not sustaining my life, right? So
Right.
I
Nah,
kept
it
making.
ain't.
The
It
biggest
ain't.
thing is I'm in control. I am in control. Cigarettes are not in control of me. You know.
Right.
Also, I had met a friend, a lady friend. I met with a lady friend, and I was kind of like at the time I was battling, smoking, and I felt as though I quit, and
Right.
I was away from my herb, and I kind of like I folded under pressure. Like I had to go get back, bought me a pack
It
real quick.
happens,
I
man.
mean,
It
all I wanted
happens,
was one,
man.
but I ain't about to beg
Uh,
nobody for nothing. So I bought me a pack real quick, and she ended up finding out, and that was embarrassing because I already was like holding it down, being strong, and I just really folded under pressure because I was outside of my element, But
right.
Right.
that embarrassment,
Yeah.
was part of the drive that what drove me to kind of like put my boxing gloves on and box these habits, these bad habits, and start
Right.
to incorporate good habits
Right.
Right.
and to replace
Man,
those. The best thing, like eating good, like you said,
oh
look,
yeah,
like my
yeah.
kundalini, brother, my intuition, all these type of things start to increase. I'm still like working on myself. I'm still embracing
Oh
self
yeah.
love for myself.
You got to, man. It's like it's a continuing thing, man. It's actually is. It's continual thing.
The
It's
transformation. Not to
scrutinized.
cut you off, but
Uh,
let's talk about the transformation. Like during the process of you embracing, loving yourself, you would then begin to transform. You
oh
won't be
yeah.
the same you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a lot of things that son. I changed it far as not doing, and that was defiling the character, defiling my soul. It's a lot of more things that I actually did other than cigarettes. It's a lot of other things that I done did other than cigarettes. So my soul understand that, and my soul know that, saying the whatever I choose to do, regardless of what it is connected with everything that does the same thing that I did, and I'm a part of it. That's just like selling dope. I'm a part of the breaking down community. That's a part of that self hate. I'm a part of a lot of wrong things, man. I can go down the list. I done did all the wrong that I can actually describe to do. You know, so when a person think that it change don't happen, it does. It just ain't happen the way somebody else describe it to you to be. With my living arrangements, my living amendments, I done did a whole lot, and I tried with people, and I tried to change around people. But a lot of times, them same people be the ones that actually been hindering you for the longest anyway. They the ones that actually interfere. Because one thing for sure, my family ain't no, they Christian based. They's not they believers, and so we don't click like that. Even though they want me to be around them like that, but we just don't click like that. I mean, I enjoy their presence when I see them, but we just don't click like that. Just don't. And
You
that's the
gotta love them
sad
from a
part.
distance.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love them. I love them so. I love your soul. Just like how some people probably still loved me, but they didn't like the character that I was. They didn't like to be around me like that. I didn't have nothing to offer. So with my understanding with that, with my understanding with that, so I know now the person that I am, the soul that activated inside of me to be genuine. And I see all this fakeness around me. It don't help me none. That's why I rather be by myself than be around a whole bunch of people that's faking the funk. And I'd rather be selective with the genuine people that I come across with, because only a person that's judgmental ain't gonna be able to deal with me, because I'm gonna tell the truth about what I have done. Whether you judge me or not, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna just tell you my truth, and tell people, hey man, don't go down that road, because that road right there is shameful. You'll wake up, you have gray hair in your beard and everything. You're like, what the hell?
Hmm.
Right. Now it's about your time to leave this life and go to the next.
Yeah. It froze. So we talk about self love, ladies and
Did
gentlemen.
or I done
What's up?
did.
Yeah, you just froze. What's up, Jamal? I ain't hear from you. What's your take?
Well, I say this right here. As far as self love, you have to be courageous. You have to be ready to explore the different aspects of your mind, and you have to take on whatever good or whatever bad come out of it. And that's what I'll say as far as self love.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can dig it, man. A lot of people out there, man, need to embrace self love. You got to like study yourself, man. Like, you gotta
I
go through
really
the
love.
process. Gotta go through the process. It's not something you just talk about,
No. That's just
you
like
know?
Knowing yourself, that's what's actually gonna give you the love yourself is actually know yourself. Like for instance, if you write your words backwards, you know, or you spelling stuff messed up, you know you have to double check yourself before you present it. But you know what I'm saying? You love yourself enough, you're gonna double check yourself. You're gonna scrutinize yourself momently, daily, yearly, or however. Check yourself. Check
Right.
yourself and see if you making improvements with yourself or you hurting yourself. You know, and that's the scrutinizing. You got to continue in scrutinizing and a self examination. That's a self examination. Keep on looking at it and keep on looking at it. And then a lot of stuff gonna come with you. Then you're gonna get into more depth of it about self love or how I mean it's way more to it just saying
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
love
yeah.
yourself because we have a lot of things that's behind us that actually that's actually interfering with the condition that
When you love
we
yourself,
are in.
like there's no room for low self-esteem. Like you see what I'm
Right.
saying? When you love
No,
yourself, no one can tell you that you are something that you are not. Right?
but you
When
don't
you
want
love
to you don't
yourself,
want to you don't want to get no overdose either where you don't want to get no overdose where you know what I'm saying you doing self love and it's just all about you and it's like you know how they said there's a thin line between love and hate. There's a
Right.
thin line between love and selfishness.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a thin line between that. And and when you actually understand them thin lines, quick, don't, don't. No, come here, Skip. Come on, my cat, Tiger Girl. And you don't want to get on camera, then go on there.
yeah, all right.
Uh,
I'm out of here. Fuck that.
yeah, like, I've been having a cat for a minute. Well, okay, my bad. Let's get back to what we was talking about.
So,
Yeah,
like, I would like to ask the viewers, what do you think of yourself? You love
Right.
yourself? What do you think of you?
quit. Don't. I don't.
Figure out your flaws. Figure out all of your weaknesses, your
But you get.
strengths.
Mm, oh
Study
yeah,
yourself. Figure out your pain. Let the pain go. Do some cleaning, inside cleaning.
right.
Right.
You will
Basically,
transform. You will be a
basically
brand
get
new, different person. So inside,
basically,
I just want to add
base.
something. I want to add, you know,
Okay.
defiling yourself, like changing your features because you want to like appeal to, you care about what something outside of you thinks of you. Can't do that. Like you care about what something outside of you thinks of you. What about you? What do and how you care about you? You shouldn't live for other people. You should live for yourself.
Okay. Oh
But
yeah.
it seemed, hey, Ma, you good? Seemed like you having some technical difficulties over there.
Think so. But yeah, we ain't gonna. I guess we gonna. But we basically
Wrap it
talked
up.
about a
We
lot.
can wrap it
Yeah, we
up.
did.
That's what
Yeah,
it
we
is.
did. Yeah, we
Definitely.
did talk a lot about the self love. And, you know, people can actually probably get a good idea of how to actually accept that,
Let me show this.
accept
Let's
a
see if I can
self.
show this real quick. Like a person
Uh,
who do not love their self or has no knowledge of self love is this. Okay, this is a person who thinks that they are the vehicle. This is a person that thinks that they are the body. They have no knowledge of what is inside the vehicle. They have no knowledge of what is inside the body, the magic and the strength and the power that you really truly are. You don't want to be this.
Mm.
Okay. I just ended at that. Definitely was a great build. Really appreciate you and brother
Appreciate you
Jamal
too.
for coming out and building with me tonight.
Oh
Looking forward
yeah,
to building with you some more in the future. You already know.
no, for
That's what
sure.
it is. What's up, brother?
For sure.
Peace.
All right. Peace, love, genuine